In this video, we will go over how to properly restore our progressive wildland packs to their proper state. It is important that we should view these packs as similar to our pre-connects on our engines, in that they need to be restored the same way every time, and all of our firefighters should be capable of putting them back correctly. Failure to restore our packs in a uniform fashion can result in delays in deploying those packs when we need them most, which could end up costing property or, in extreme situations, lives. In this section of the video, we're going to talk about threads on hose, what type of hose we need to reload the packs, and how the hose should be properly rolled so that the packs are ready to go and standardized throughout the whole district. First, we'll talk about threads. There are two common types of thread that are placed on wildland hose. There's national hose thread and there's national pipe straight hose thread. National hose thread is shown by an abbreviation on the coupling that says NH, and national pipe thread is shown with the abbreviation NPSH. You'll also commonly see these painted on couplings. National hose couplings should be painted orange, and national pipe straight hose thread couplings should be painted blue. However, it's important to note that there are sometimes errors made in painting, and if you are relying solely based on the paint to determine what thread type a hose is, you should either test the threads by trying to connect something you know is of that thread type to it, or you should look and see if you can actually see the markings on the couplings themselves that say what the thread type is. Hose in our supply is going to have national hose threads if it's 1.5 inches or larger. However, the 1 inch is about evenly split. Approximately 50% of our sections of 1 inch hose are national hose threads, while the other 50% are national pipe threads. It's extremely important when you rebuild a progressive pack that you only use 1 inch hose with national pipe thread on it, because the way our adapters and our packs are set up, national hose thread is not going to be able to connect without a new adapter, and that's going to slow down our deployment. In the photo currently on your screen, you will see a 1 inch female coupling with national pipe straight hose threads. Notice the markings on this hose coupling that say NPSH to the right of your screen. That stands for national pipe straight hose, and it is the appropriate type of threads to use on 1 inch hose for our progressive packs. You'll also see marked on this coupling Action, which is a brand name for the hose maker, and FSS, which stands for Federal Supply Schedule, indicating that it meets the requirements set by the federal government for use for federal firefighting agencies. On your screen now is the male coupling of a 1 inch hose with national hose threads. On the left of your screen, you'll see the markings RHB for red head brass, once again a brand name for the hose. The number 1 for 1 inch couplings. NH stands for national hose, which is referring to the hose thread on here. And FSS once again. Note that national hose is the incorrect type of threads to be using for our progressive packs. If you use national hose threads on our packs, you will be unable to connect this hose to the gated Ys with the adapters that are currently stored on them. This is going to slow down deployment and could cause a serious problem on the fire ground. In this photo, you will see a 1.5 to 1 inch reducer that also is a converter from national hose threads to national pipe straight hose threads. The bottom part of this photo is painted orange on the 1.5 inch side, while the top is painted blue on the national pipe straight hose side. This is the standard marking arrangement that should be on all of our adapters. However, I have found several in our fleet that are incorrectly marked, so please keep in mind to check for the stamped thread type, or if you cannot find a stamped thread type, try another coupling on there to ensure that the threads are correct. All of our gated Ys in our packs are going to include a reducer such as this on the end of one of the two Y discharge sections. It is extremely important to verify on all of these reducers that the 1-inch side has pipe threads and not hose threads, because if the correct type of hose, which is national pipe hose, is included in the pack, it will not connect if the adapter on the end of the gated Y is incorrect. When determining the type of hose to use in a progressive pack, there are 4 key elements that you need to hit. The first is the right diameter of hose. The second is the right threads. The third is the right length. And the fourth is the correct type. Diameter, threads, and length should all be fairly self-explanatory at this point. However, if you look at the photo on your screen right now, you will see 2 sections of 1.5-inch hose that are 100 feet long each. Note that the section on top is rolled extremely tight and close together, whereas the one on the bottom has a lot more space in between the rolls. This is because the top roll is single jacketed and the bottom roll is double jacketed. Double jacketed hose is commonly used for structural firefighting because it provides additional support for the hose and prevents it from being damaged. However, for the wildland application, we use single jacketed hose, which is lighter, less expensive, and rolls tighter as seen in the photo. Double jacketed hose does not roll tight enough and will not fit in our progressive hose lay packs. In the photo on your screen, at first glance, it might appear that both are 100-foot sections of hose. However, if you look closely, the top hose is single jacketed and is 100 feet long, while the bottom hose is double jacketed and appears to be the same length while it's rolled up, but is in fact only 50 feet long. 50-foot sections should not be placed in the packs. All hose in our progressive lay packs should be 100 feet long. When it comes time to roll the hose, there are 3 different hose rolls that you might see wildland hose stored in. On your screen on the left, you will see the single donut roll. In the middle, the straight roll. And on the right, the double donut roll. Our progressive lay packs are all loaded with single donut rolls, which is the roll that you see on the left side of your screen. When rolling single donut rolls for progressive lay packs, it is usually a good idea to have both couplings at the end of the roll as close together as possible. The reason for this is that when appliances such as nozzles or gated Ys are added to it, it prevents them from dangling far out of the pack, where they would swing around and create a hazard where they could injure someone if the pack is turned quickly, and prevents them from catching as the pack tries to deploy, which could prevent adequate deployment of the hose when the pack is deployed. In this photo, you can see that same roll of hose with a gated Y on the end. Note that if we put this in the progressive pack right now, the Y would hang down a little bit from the bottom of the pack, but not too far to where it would be whipping around and potentially able to injure someone if someone wearing the pack turned too quickly or set the pack down fast and accidentally hit themselves in the face with a swinging gated Y. In the video playing on your screen currently, I am attempting to connect a 1-inch section of national pipe threaded hose to a 1.5 national hose to 1-inch national hose reducer. Note that the threads do not line up, and as a result, I am not able to connect the hose. if this was on a fire scene, I would be unable to connect this hose to this adapter, and we would be unable to deploy that hose line until either we had A, a new section of hose with threads that match the adapter, or B, a new adapter with threads that will match the hose.
So what you see here is a hose pack and all its components in front of you. We got 2 1/2 inch, one with a gated Y and one with a nozzle. We got 2 inch lines, each having a nozzle on it. In each section, so the first section that will be loaded is the yellow section. It'll have 1 1/2 inch and 1 inch line. The 1.5 inch will have a nozzle on it, as well as the inch line. What our firefighter is doing here is he is tightening down the yellow strap and making it ready to use. So he tightens it down through the middle and then puts it into the grip device, which when you pull the string, it'll drop it. He tightens the sides so it cannot fall out through the corners. When tightening down the straps, be sure not to tighten it too tight, as it will be very difficult to get the hose packs out when deploying it. Now in the blue section, or the first section that will be dropped, you want a 1 inch line with a nozzle and an 1.5 inch line with a gated Y. This will be the first section that you drop.
In this video, you learned how to properly restore our packs, as well as going over the correct type of hose, the correct lengths of hose, the correct type of hose threads, and other important factors to putting the packs together. It is extremely important when you restore these packs to do them in a uniform fashion and make sure they are all the same. If you ever have any questions or confusion on restoring these packs, this video will be available online, and there is also a department SOG in effect on how to reload these packs. Please consult one of those resources or someone who knows how to properly restore them, and don't just put them back a certain way because you think that's the correct way or you think it's good enough.